So I'm here with Simon Stone, lead engineer at IBM. Simon, what is it that you do as a lead engineer at IBM?
So I lead a small team of developers. Primarily, the team is focused on the development of Hyperledger Composer, so our team contributes to the open source Hyperledger project. I'm responsible for designing, planning, architecting the features that we're going to add to Hyperledger Composer, handing that work out to the team, and then working with them to get it delivered.
Okay, so Hyperledger Composer is one of the elements of the Hyperledger tool environment, maybe. What are the key parts in a blockchain solution?
So the most fundamental part of a blockchain solution is the blockchain technology at the bottom, the bit that actually manages the blocks and provides consensus to your solution. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff on top of that you need to actually build a working solution. You need to be able to expose that blockchain to applications via a set of APIs, and Composer provides some tools for doing that. Most companies looking at blockchain have been around for quite some time, so they have existing systems, right? And they need some integration to enable them to get that existing data and bring it into the blockchain and back again. So you move your data from the blockchain into your existing systems as well. You also need applications. A deployed smart contract is no good if no one can interact with it. And whether you're using web apps, mobile apps, desktop apps, you need ways to build applications around your solution.
Okay, so that's an entire set of layers stacked on top of each other. This is the technology deep dive. You'll be talking about Hyperledger Composer. I would imagine there's all sorts of development environments popping up right now specific to blockchain technology. What sets Hyperledger Composer apart from some of the other efforts?
From the start, we designed Hyperledger Composer to be completely accessible to every developer, and we picked JavaScript as the language of choice. JavaScript is probably the most popular programming language in the world. I would say everyone's done JavaScript at some point, whether they do it for their day job on a professional basis or whether they hack a bit of web pages in their bedroom in their spare time. Everyone has seen or touched JavaScript at some point. So we picked JavaScript, and we've made it possible to develop a blockchain solution from start to finish using just JavaScript. You can develop your business logic in JavaScript. You can develop your applications in JavaScript end to end. And we've made it much more accessible for any developer to get on board with blockchain solutions, rather than having to learn specific blockchain technologies.
That sounds very enticing, but some might also wonder how secure and how safe it would be. Don't you need to understand a bit more about the deeper lying technologies to be certain?
Yes, sure. You definitely need to know about consensus. You need to know about all kinds of problems that occur in smart contracts. That doesn't go away just because you pick a secure language. And we've seen some vulnerabilities pop up even in the so-called secure languages. By using JavaScript, it's already got a massive ecosystem around testing tools, from unit testing, code coverage, a whole plethora of testing tools that people are familiar with. And once they're familiar with the language that they know and love, and familiar with the tools that they use to build everyday JavaScript applications, they can perform rigorous testing of a solution and avoid those kind of bugs in future. Whereas if they're learning a new technology from scratch, they'll sort of keep scratching their heads at the bits, they'll make mistakes, and they'll end up with a problematic solution.
Right. You use the term ecosystem. Hyperledger is open source. IBM is not the only party contributing to the source. Does Hyperledger already feel as an ecosystem in itself?
Definitely. I regularly participate in Hyperledger events. There are a huge number of companies participating now. I think the active members in Hyperledger is now over 180 contributing. We have a wide number of people contributing, certainly to Hyperledger Fabric, which is one of the more established projects in Hyperledger. But some of the other projects that we haven't mentioned, like Sawtooth, Iroha, Indie, which is a new project around decentralized identity. There's many companies contributing to all these projects, so it's an exciting place to be.
Right. And how do you feel about that ecosystem with regards to the broader ecosystem under the umbrella of blockchain in any flavor? How is that going along?
So I think at the moment there's sort of three separate camps within the blockchain ecosystem. There's the Bitcoin guys, there's the Ethereum guys, and then there's sort of a big umbrella of blockchain for business guys. And
they're all guys, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, not the most diverse group at the moment. But what we're seeing is that the technologies are starting to talk to each other and starting to find ways to interact with each other. So, for example, in Hyperledger, there's an Ethereum virtual machine project called Burrow, and there are projects going in at linking that Ethereum virtual machine to Hyperledger Fabric and Hyperledger Sawtooth, which is the technology delivered by Intel, which will enable people to move between the Ethereum camp and the blockchain for business camp, which will be pretty. It does not happen before, which is nice to see.
Looking forward to the upcoming Blockchain Hackathon, how do you think that will contribute to the wider ecosystem?
I hope, as with any blockchain hackathon, we'll get quite a diverse set of use cases. There always is a fantastic set of use cases at a blockchain hackathon. What I'd really like to see, though, is some working solutions, and that tends to be where it's fallen down in the past traditionally, where you get these great ideas in the morning and then people struggle to get something built over the course of 2 days. That's where we hope Composer will come in really helpful, because it will enable people to build their solutions much more quickly and have something great to demo at the end of the hackathon.
So I was going to ask you about your top tips for people preparing to take part. Using Hyperledger Composer would be one,
Definitely,
I guess.
Yes.
Any other tips for people preparing to take part?
Yeah, don't just pick the techie people in the room to form your team. Don't just get the people that are going to be working on the back end, the smart contracts, the really technical governance, because you won't end up with a great solution at the end of the day. You really need the whole wide range of skills. And I think in previous Blockchaingers sessions, there have been sessions around legal, for example. Definitely try and grab some business people, some line of business people who really understand the use case and how to present that use case and the solution to the judges. And then also find some people that might not be so capable on the back end, but might be more of a front end developer to build a beautiful front end to demonstrate.
Make it more usable.
Yeah, make it more usable and really sell the solution to the judges.
Thank you very much.
No worries.